Guys, and welcome back to my really long channel. This is Candyfloss by Jacqueline Wilson. A slightly shorter slightly shorter chapter today. We are going from chapter 5 on page 63 to chapter 6 on page 73. So without further ado, let's get going. As always, this is Jacqueline Wilson's own work, just reading it for entertainment and pleasure. Let's go. Chapter 5. I decided to tell Dad that night, but I was too tired to do more than scrub Candyfloss off my face, brush my teeth, and then clapped into bed. I decided to tell Dad over breakfast instead, but he made special croissants, putting a funny black beret on his head and hanging a string of plastic onions around his neck, pretending to be French. I couldn't tell him when he was prancing around singing Frère Jacques and calling me his little cabbage. I decided I'd tell Dad before lunch, but we went to the park and fed the ducks and all the stale bread left over from the cafe. There was so much, the ducks had a veritable banquet, quacking appreciatively whenever I shook the bags, and it started snowing chunks of bread. I didn't want to spoil their fun, or ours. I decided to tell Dad during lunch, but he sat me down in the cafe and pretended I was a very special customer. He served me a funny little salad in the shape of a clown's face, lettuce hair, boiled egg eyes, and a cherry tomato nose. There, tell your mum I gave you ultra healthy nosh, said Dad. Okay, now for pudding. It wasn't quite as healthy. Dad garnished a big slice of birthday cake with cream and ice cream and raspberry sauce, making a totally heavenly birthday pudding. I couldn't possibly spoil it by blurting out my news. We were so full afterwards we flopped at either end of the sofa and watched our ancient old video of the Railway Children. It jumps around a lot and sometimes gets stuck, but we know it so well it's not a problem. We chanted along with it half the time. At the very end, Bobby goes to the station. She sees her father and goes running to him, calling, "Daddy, oh, my daddy!" My dad is a big softy. He always cries at this bit, and I tease him rotten. Only this time I thought it must really have been like to be poor Bobby, parted from her father all that time, and I was the one who burst out crying. "Hey, no blubbing allowed, that's my job," said Dad, giving me a little loving poke. Then he looked at me properly. "You're not really crying, are you, Flossie? What's the matter, eh? You can tell your old dad, can't you?" That was just the trouble. I couldn't tell my dad. It was just so awful. I wound my arms round my neck and clung to him tightly. "I'm going to miss you so, Dad," I sobbed into his old grey jersey. "I'm going to miss you all week too, sweetheart. I just live for our weekends together, especially now. Well, I've got in a bit of a muddle with money, and things are a bit dodgy at the cafe. Still, as long as I've got you, that's all that matters," said Dad, rubbing his bristly cheek against the top of my head. I sobbed harder. Hey, don't cry so, little Floss. Your curly mop feels so silky. What? You're like my own special Candyfloss. Watch out, I don't eat you all up." He made a funny galloping noises, pretending to nibble my curls. I couldn't help giggling, even though I was still crying hard. "That's it. Start cheering up, my darling. Wonder Boy Steve will be calling for you soon in his flash car, and I don't want him telling your mum you've been miserable with me. You've got to be the all-singing, all-dancing, happy little girl who thinks her parents splitting up as a piece of cake. And talking of cakes, better not tell your mum we scoffed the whole birthday cake between us, or we'll really be for it." "Dad? Oh, Dad! What is it, little pal? Spit it out." I don't know how, I wailed. Then I heard a car draw up outside. I reared up off the sofa. It was Steve. Far too early. Steve and Mum and Tiger all come to collect me. I'd spit it out now. It torrented out like a waterfall. "Dad, I can't bear it, but we're going to Australia. Steve's got this new job, and we're moving there next month. They've only just told me, and I'm trying to tell you all weekend, and I haven't been able to. And they say it's not forever, just 6 months, but I'll feel like forever, and I'll feel like I'm being cut in half because I love you so, Dad." The doorbell rang. Dad shook his head, looking dazed. For one terrible moment, his face crumpled up. Then he took a deep breath and tried to smile. "That's really exciting news, Floss," he said. "Australia, eh? Well, sport, we'll have to buy you one of them funny hats with corks on. Do you mind terribly, Dad? Are you cross with me?" "Of course I'm not cross with you, silly girl. I do mind, obviously. I'll miss you dreadfully. Just make sure you don't forget your old dad." Oh, Dad, as if. The bell went again. Someone knocked loudly with their knuckles on the cafe door. Come on, sounds like your mum's getting impatient, said Dad. I clung to him like a baby monkey, unable to let him go. He staggered with me to the door and opened it with difficulty. What are you playing at, Charlie? We've been ringing and knocking for ages, said Mum. She looked at me. Oh, Floss, you've got yourself in a silly state. Then she looked properly. What on earth is that pink thing you're wearing? And whose silver shoes are those? They're way too big for you. Dad gently put me down. I wobbled on my high heels. They're my birthday princess clothes, I sobbed. I think they're beautiful. Yes, well, get your things together then. We've got to be off. We're going to Steve's mum for tea. Mum caught Tiger's fist. He was trying to pick the peeling paint off the cafe door. Don't pet, dirty. Yes, we're off to see Granny, aren't we? She's not my Granny, I said. I want to stay with Dad. I wound my arms as far as I could round Dad's large waist and leaned my head against his chest. I could hear his heart going thump, 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 thump underneath his jersey. Stop behaving like a baby, Floss. You'll be able to see your dad before you all go to Australia, said Dad, patting me on the shoulder. Yes, Australia, said Mum, looking Dad in the eyes for the first time. So Flossie's told you? Yes, she has. She's a bit upset about it, as you can see, said Dad. Well, you've obviously been stirring her up. She's really thrilled to bits. It's a fantastic opportunity, said Mum. Steve done so well getting this job. I'm not thrilled, I mumbled to Dad. I wish he'd just shut up about Steve. What was that, said Mum. Why didn't you tell me before, said Dad. Well, we're telling you now, said Mum. Steve's going to be in charge of this whole new Australian branch at double current his salary. And, yeah, said Dad. He's obviously wanted Mum to shut up about Steve too. What I mean is, how is it going to affect Floss, and me for that matter? It's going to kill me not seeing my little girl. Sorry about that, pal, said Steve. He's not Dad's pal, not in a million years. It wasn't deliberate, you know. I didn't even put in for a job in Sydney. Sorry, guys. They simply offered it to me. He shrugged and smirked to show us he couldn't help being so brilliant and clever and in demand. Sorry, guys. It's all very well saying sorry, said Dad. He looked at Mum. What about my right to see Floss? I've got joint custody, you know that. You can come see her any time you want, Mum said calmly. How am I going to get there? Walk, said Dad. I can't help it if you can't afford it, said Mum. We can't miss this golden opportunity. There's nothing you can do about it, Charlie. I felt Dad sag a little. I don't suppose there is, he said so sadly. Well, I hope it all works out for you, and don't you worry, little Floss. We'll write lots. You'll never know, I might win the lottery, and then I'll come flying over to see you straight away. Or I'll put on my Superman pants and soar all the way to Sydney under my own stream. He was trying to make me laugh, but it just made me cry harder. Come on, Flora, don't be such a little drama queen, said Mum. Change out those silly shoes and take that frock off, and let's get going. I unhooked myself from Dad. I wiped my eyes and I took a step backwards. I looked at him. He had tears in his eyes too, though his mouth was stretched into a clown smile shape. Then I looked at Mum and Steve and Tiger, my two families. I suddenly knew where I belonged. I'm not going, I said. Mum sighed. Look, Granny Westwood's expecting us and Tiger's getting restless. I want to give him his bottle in the car and settle him off to sleep. I'm not going at all, I said. I've decided. I took a deep breath. I'm not going to Australia. I've decided. There's nothing you can do to change my mind. I'm staying with my dad. And that is the end of chapter 5, guys. Thank you so much for listening. It was a little bit shorter this time, only about 10 pages. So thank you again for listening. Without further ado, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, guys.